have the original Chuck E. Cheese crew. Surprisingly, all of them were killed, except for 3 members. Chucky, god damn it. Okay, Chucky, the dog, and Pasquami, I think his name was. Well, Pasquami was the chef. All 3 of them survived, but soon to know that some of them never made it out alive. That's right. Let me tell you who they made it out alive. Well, you see, there were a hippo that played the instrument. She died out. The first retired Chuck E. Cheese member, Krusty the Cat, and the 3 crows. They were all killed. So yeah, that's the sad truth. All of them were murdered.
Chuck E. Cheese ripoff.
I really thought it was going to be this easy. Here at Mark Funtime Theater, somebody took a wedding here, but I really thought it was going to be easy. In 1980s, there were a ton of ripoff because Showtime Pizza thought it would have been way more easy. They made all of the other company have idea. They think that, oh, this is getting popular, so obviously I should make a ripoff of Chuck E. Cheese. But Jesus Christ, there were so many ripoff. I couldn't find a single one. There were so many that not a lot of people know about them. Like really, damn, that's a ton. But in 1980, there were a ton of people making ripoff of Chuck E. Cheese before the thing goes down. So yeah, all of these ripoff restaurants have never been heard ever since. Dang.
Chuck E. Cheese murder.
Okay, 20 years ago, or I think in 1990, Nathan Dunlap killed 4 people and 1 lived. And another incident, 2 men put out the guns and in a kid's birthday party. Yeah, tragic. But there a recorded video of some men having a gun in a Chuck E. Cheese in an accident once. Camera footage shows. But we wouldn't.
The warehouse.
Okay, I talk about something a little spooky, so time for me to say something lighthearted. The Chuck E. Cheese warehouse. They're full of a ton of stuff, like the old animatronics, but I always wonder whatever happened to some of them. Some of them they sold an option, some of the other ones they sold an other property, but it's really hard to tell. And I wonder, where's the hippo with the bouncing bazungas? Or where's the moose with the moving antlers? Or where's the elephant with the moving trunks? Or where's that weasel thingy? Or where's the king? But yeah, who knows?
Rick rant.
Back then in 1977, they made Chuck E. Cheese, but you didn't know Chuck E. Cheese or Chuck name was Rick Rat, and they were supposed to call it Rick Rat Pizza before change happened, because the original design was supposed to be something before they said it looked like a rat, so they think, hey, Rick Rat Pizza. But if I'm going to talk about the suit very soon, but yeah.
The play hole under the stage of Chuck E. Cheese.
Probably wondering what I'm talking about is Mr. Munch Magic Madhouse. It's basically tunnels where you could go down, and they say it's epilepsy lights or whatever, and they sort of scare kids, and it's a maze. but there were no recorded footage of it. So yeah, it's sort of lost. It's me, Brandon. I'm giving him a break. The parlor is the cabaret thingy. Instead of me talking about it, how about I'll show you? I don't know why. I wasn't alive in that time, but I feel so nostalgic. And also, that's sad to know that they can never come back because, well, not a lot of people are paying attention animatronics anymore. Chuck E. Cheese are for kids, but I'm surprised that not a lot of kids care anymore. That's tragic. These things look like they'll really get you into it, but now they're now extinct or in a museum. That sucks.
Ice cream emporium.
So basically, the ice cream quartet or Sarah, whatever the name was made in 1981 in Florida, and in 2020 they found them again, and all that happened. But they had a little bit more history. There were in other places, but who knows where the other ones were. They were reskin version of the Beagles, and they were really cool looking. They were in select places because they were trying to do the ice cream thingy. But yeah, they're really cool. That's nice that somebody finally collect them in 2020. Who knew? Who knew? Now original Chucky design. So basically, you've seen the pictures before, right? Well, the original design was supposed to be a coyote, but it looked like a rat, so they call it Rick Rat before they just named it Showtime Theater. And then, well, basically, Chuck E. Cheese never mentioned this again. Why look like a coyote? Who knows? Who knows if what would have been lost commercials. I spell it wrong, so lost commercial, not Chuck E. Cheese had been up for 40 years. I'm surprised that there were no noise or commercials that were lost in Chuck E. Cheese. And I'm wondering, were they ever a lost commercial in Chuck E. Cheese? Well, who knows? But maybe there were a lost commercial Chuck E. Cheese, like there were a ton of those really bad 3 a.m. videos. I mean, they're god awful. Like, really? How is Chucky that evil on every 3 a.m. video, but that not on? They gotta be a lost commercial. For 40 years, they always had to know if there's a lost commercial. If there are a lost commercial, tell me in the comments. The abandoned members. Going to butcher the name. The Moppy sister. Madame Oink. Foxy. It's Henny, something like that. All of them were abandoned. All of these photos I showed you were abandoned. And there were guest characters. And even one of the crewmates, Munch Jr., was abandoned. Dang. The video game crash. So basically, the video game crash happened in 1983, and you wanna know what else happened in 1983? Well, Chuck E. Cheese was in 1983. But the video game crash sort of affected it and all the other ripoff. And they all got killed. But Chuck E. Cheese stand out a little. Arcades were having problems, but Chuck E. Cheese was still standing. Yeah? If the video game crash did affect their sales a little. But yeah, if you want to know a ton about the video game crash, search it up on YouTube. A really interesting story. But yeah, Chuck E. Cheese was in the middle of it, but still standing. How bold. Kids. I have a feeling I'm going to get a ton of comments. But the biggest problem with Chuck E. Cheese removing the animatronic is kids. That's right. Like, really. Soon they grow, but back then, I gotta relate. Back then, I used my mom's phone a ton of times. And I don't really pay attention to a ton of things. But I still liked the animatronics. But now, newer kids don't really care about that anymore. They got their PlayStation 9 or something like that. And phones. And basically 50% of America kids have phones. That's why the animatronic thing, they replaced it with a dance floor. Like, really, they won't pay attention to it anymore. That's sad to know, but the truth. Like, really, kids just don't care about this anymore. Some kids still do. I'm not saying all kids does. It's just my own personal opinion. That's why all the Chuck E. Cheese replaced the animatronic with a dance floor. A stupid dance floor. But yeah. If you disagree with that, it's alright. But that might think that it's in the bottom of the list. It's kids. Yeah. I hope you like my iceberg. And I think I'm going to come back to my home. Wait, this isn't my home. Wait, am I in another Chuck E. Cheese? Donnie Dimples?
You know, boys, if you want to act like a beast, you've come to the right place. If you could talk to the animals.
Okay, I'm getting strangely uncomfortable, so I'm leaving. Bye.
You'd study every living creature's language, and they could squeak and squawk and speak and talk to you. See you later, handsome ones.
Okay, I'm going to thank my brother Brian, and I'm going to thank these two channels if they probably never heard about me for giving me the idea. So yeah. So if you're watching this, you're probably not. Thank you. Okay, bye.